In today's video, I'll take you behind the scenes into how I created a cinematic reel for Samsung to announce my ambassadorship. I'll break down my process from pre-production and coming up with ideas, to the equipment we used, the creation of the coin transition, filming, and everything in between. I guess hopefully by the end you'll have a better understanding of what goes into creating a reel like this, and perhaps you'll feel inspired to create one yourself. I made the switch. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 opens up a fresh perspective and endless possibilities. So, I'm excited to announce that I switched to the Flip. Now, let's talk about concept development. So, Samsung asked me to create a reel to announce my ambassadorship, aka the Switch video. They gave me a few guidelines, but I was mostly given full creative freedom, which is always super fun. And for this 25 to 30-second piece, I decided to focus more on the lifestyle of me switching to my new Galaxy Z Flip 6, with the aim to emphasize on how the phone naturally fits into my everyday life. Now, since I've just super recently received these really cool lights from Amaran, I knew I wanted to use them in the video and create this cool lighting scenario with me in the middle of the circle. We used Amaran 300C with the 19-degree spotlight.
That's about as far back as you're going to go, right?
Yeah.
Right. I can go as fast or as slow as you want so we can come out.
Something like this. I look and I say, I made the switch.
Okay, camera's rolling.
And we're going 1, 2, 3. I made the switch.
Ooh, that's so sick!
Now, one thing that I love to do in my videos is creating a loop, and to do that, it's super simple, so let me quickly break it down for you. Basically, all you need to do is have something before the start of your sentence, and then that something before the start of your sentence goes at the back of the video. And that's literally how you create a loop. So when shooting videos, I typically use 3 different methods. First, there's handheld shooting. Not everything needs to be perfectly smooth, and for close-ups, handheld is often just the easiest option. For example, one of my favorite shots in this video was shot with a macro filter, handheld. I just love how the timing of the buses passing by turned out, and this was one of those moments where you don't have the time to set up camera on a gimbal or a tripod and you just need to shoot. Next is gimbal. Now, funny enough, I only started using a gimbal about 6 months ago, and it has really transformed my whole video making process. I think movement is so important, and just to give you an example, the walking shots of me would absolutely not be possible without a gimbal, because first off, they'd be too shaky, and shooting it handheld would mean that it would be very hard to keep me nicely in frame.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So, yeah, definitely a great purchase. And finally, there's the tripod. Now, if you've seen my work before, you know that I love masking myself in different places. And to achieve this, I use a tripod to keep the camera steady and then position myself in different spots within the frame. And then in the edit, all you have to do is layer those clips on top of each other and mask myself out from each one while having the main background below all the layers. But let's talk about the coin transition. Now, for me, the fact that this phone flips is just the coolest thing ever. Garrett came up with this really cool idea to play on the word flip, where the idea is to flip the coin in the air, have a close-up of the coin, and then the coin transitions into the Z Flip 6. Oh, I could just do that. My good friend Aaron came down to London to help me shoot this reel, and he was also the one that brought this coin transition to life. So we first set up the camera on a tripod and a Lazy Susan from IKEA and some blue tack to get the shot of the coin spinning.
Yeah, okay.
Oh!
Okay. Is this IKEA?
Yeah.
How much weight does it hold?
Enough. It's for fruit and veg.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can I stand on it?
No.
Okay.
That didn't look like it's gonna end well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for fruit and vegetables, so
It's a spinning croissant.
No, the only reason we got this when Garrett saw this and he was like, because that takes a lot of space, and Garrett's like, yeah, but we can use it for a video. This basically allowed us to cut it out in post-production and make it appear as it was flying through the air. We used the Sony 70-200 lens, and to get even closer to the coin, we added my favorite prop, this 20-pound macro filter from Amazon. I literally use this filter in all my videos, and it's just the best purchase ever. I also love how you kind of get this warpy effect on the edges, which I just think looks a little bit vintage and cool. But if you're interested in the gear I use, I literally have a link down below where everything is listed. Then we also needed a shot of me flipping the coin.
Wasn't there.
So we used the 24-105 lens at 20mm focal length, and as I threw the coin in the air, Aaron followed my movement. We shot this at 100 frames per second, just to give us the maximum flexibility in editing and just to smoothly track the coin's motion. So one thing I look for when shooting is movement, and when editing is continuity, which makes our transitions in between clips smoother. Funny enough, I posted a story as I was editing this video of how it looked like in reverse, and actually so many people said that I should just keep it that way. This is in reverse. And as you can see, all these shots have a connection between them and what direction they're going to. So here's just a few shots side by side that I ended up reversing in post because I just felt like they went better with the movement of the entire video. Or the flow, I guess. So, the pocket transition. Now, before we started shooting this video, I was going through some of the old Samsung ads, just finding inspiration. So I came across this phone ad where they dropped a phone into the pocket, and I just thought it looked so cool, so I really wanted to give it a go myself. Okay, we are now filming a scene where we're gonna basically drop the phone into a pocket, but we're gonna cut up the tote bag and then make it seem like that was my pocket. We had 2 chairs and clips to make sure that the tote bag wasn't moving around. We first tried using Sony A7S III and the 10mm 2.8 Laowa lens. We had some pillows and hoodies to make sure that when I do drop the phone doesn't break, because obviously there was a hole on the bottom. So this took quite a long time. I think it was like an hour and a half of just trial and error. Now, if I was to give you a tip for this, and something we struggled with was wind. So make sure that you're going somewhere where it's not windy, just to get a more realistic effect. So one thing that I get asked quite a lot is how I create transitions in my videos. So let me quickly break it down for you. Now, I love using overlays like film burns, and I get those on Motion Array, which I have a link down below if you want to check it out. And then to create the transitions from the clips, start by putting together a few different clips that are only a frame or 2 long, and then to give it a little bit more spice, nest your clips and add some extra effects on, like prism blur, prism blur or analog vintage effect. And this way, you don't need to do it one by one or copy paste each effect onto a new clip. So this reel took me about a day to edit, and I knew that sound design would be the key to taking it to the next level. So to find a song, I use Artlist highlights feature, which basically plays you the best part of the song, so you can quickly see what it sounds like and decide whether it's the right fit for your project or not. Now, a big thanks to Artlist for sponsoring this video. This is also super special for me because Artlist was my first ever proper brand deal that I've done. So I guess it's almost like a full circle moment. Artlist also came out with this super cool feature recently called stems. You can now take control over every element of your song. For example, you can mute individual tracks or download exactly what your video needs. So if you're looking for high quality stock footage, music, sound effects, templates, and now even custom voiceovers all within one place, head over to Artlist, and with using the link in my description, you can get 2 months free on top of your yearly plan, which I think is super cool, and I get a small kickback from it, which is always really nice. It's safe to say that when shooting these kind of videos, or in fact any videos, not everything goes to plan.
Hang on a minute, we've got a bit of an issue. ND filter's fucking with the screen.
Of course it is, that's the problem. And that's why I think it's super important to get some extra bits, just in case you come home and realize that something might not work. Now, for the final shot, where I walk into the frame and announce my switch to Galaxy, I initially wanted to have the phone floating in the air, and then zoom into it and blend it into the clip of me talking for, I guess, like a cool effect. However, I ran into two issues. First, there was a lot of banding. Since the phone is flexible and uses this different type of glass, shooting into it often results in like a colorful, distorted image. And of course, you can use a CPL or a polarizer to remove that, but in this case, it wasn't perfectly clear. And then the second problem was flickering. Now, in the end, even though I really liked the idea, it wasn't worth including it in the final video unless it looked flawless. But we tried, and if I find a way to figure out to do it better next time, I might just incorporate that into a different kind of video. So I guess we got to the end. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this breakdown and just seeing how we brought this video to life. This absolutely would not be possible without my friend Aaron, who helped film this entire reel and also created this really cool coin transition. And of course, Garrett, who not only helped film this reel as well, he also shot this whole entire BTS footage, pretty much enabling me to create this breakdown video for you. So make sure to check them out. And if you like this video, give it a like, drop a comment. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them. And I guess that's it. See you in the next one. Woo! Oh, that looks kind of cool. Oh, ooh, that hurts.
Testing.
I quite like the. I'm a big fan of close-ups.
So tiny. It's so tiny.